I hate abakaliki people. Like, I so much hate abakaliki people. I so much hate them. I cannot even rent my house to an abakaliki person. Abakaliki people, they are very bad people. I cannot even let anyone I know to marry from abakaliki. I cannot do that. I cannot let anyone I know to marry from abakaliki. I cannot do that. Abakaliki people are the Fulanis of Igbo land. This is what most Igbo people say. But why is nobody talking about why Abakaliki people is much more hated in Igbo land? Why are they seen as the Fulanis of the Igbo people? Why do we turn our own blood into a punchline? This is not because of dominance or power, but because they are treated like foreigners, unwanted, even mocked within their own homeland. Onwa Abakaliki is what most people say to insult their fellow Igbo person. You call them dirty, you call them bush people, you refuse your daughter's hand in marriage to them. But let me ask you, what makes an Abakaliki man less Igbo than an Oka man? Why is it okay to scream Igbo Amaka with your chest, yet your heart secretly believes that Ebonyi is not part of that pride? This is not a story of one people being hated. This is a story of a people we have refused to love. And the stigma didn't just start today. Long before Ebonyi became a state, its people, mostly from Abakaliki, were seen as the hands that tilled the land, the carriers of goods, the ones who served while others sat. Because they walked the soil, because they walked barefooted in the markets, they were marked. Marked as low class, marked as dirty. In schools, they were bullied. In churches, they were whispered about. In families, marriage to an Ebonyi son was seen as a disgrace. But we never stopped for one day to ask how we learned this hate. And maybe this is the most dangerous thing. How natural it feels to mock them. They say the white man enslaved us. But tell me, what is worth more than being enslaved by your own brother's perception of you? Igbo people fought the civil war together. But after the war, they left the Abakaliki man behind. While others rebuilt, he was left with the dust of his hands. While others migrated abroad, he was mocked for still carrying firewood. We reduced their existence to a stereotype, a slot, a shame. Abakaliki, not a place, but an insult. Let me shock you. This insult is only in the eyes of those who forgot their roots. Here is the part of the story you were not told. Abakaliki is rising. In the very land we once mocked, flyovers now stretch like bridges of defiance. Ebonyi now boasts one of the fastest rising growing city in the east. From the international market to the rice mill, from the universities to tech innovations, Abakaliki is no longer begging to belong. They are reclaiming what has always been theirs. And the people, they are no longer hiding their accents. They are no longer apologizing for their origin. They have realized that the dust on their feet was never shame. It was the evidence of a people who never stopped working. I lost a job because they said I looked too local. My fiancé's mother refused our marriage because she heard that I am from Abakaliki. Even in churches, they look at us like second-class Christians. These are real life stories from Abakaliki people. But the pain is not just theirs to carry. It belongs to all of us who remain silent. Because the loudest form of hate is not always violence. Most times, it is silence. Sometimes it's laughter. Sometimes it's rejection masked as culture. We say, Onya Galawaneya, but we have voluntarily allowed our Abakaliki brothers to walk alone. We cannot claim Igbo pride while rejecting part of our own. If the Abakaliki man is Igbo, and he is, then every insult thrown at him is a collective insult to our identity. If we must move forward as a people, we must first look back and ask for forgiveness. Forgiveness for the jokes, forgiveness for the names, forgiveness for the silence. Because healing begins the moment we agree that the problem is us. I remember one time when I finished secondary school, I went for a job interview. After submitting my application, they called me for an interview, and during the interview, I did well, and the interviewer said that I am very lucky, that the only reason he's giving me this job, not minding that I did extremely well, was because I am not from Abakaliki. This is a real life stereotype. So I ask you again, why is nobody talking about this? If you are from Abakaliki, drop your story in the comments. If you ever looked down on them, be honest. This is a real life problem and we must face it collectively as Igbo people. Share this video. Let the conversation begin. Let the shame end. Let the healing start today.